Hello and welcome to day 7. Actually, it's day 6 and day 7. Yesterday, I did not do much. I was mainly just looking at VFX tutorials without like actually doing them. So just looking around, getting inspired. I saw like a bunch of really cool like Korean and Chinese people making crazy VFX in Unreal. And I was also thinking about the animation, but I realized that like just doing this in your head doesn't really do much. I mean, doesn't do much as far of coming to a decision. So I need to like actually try and do some more stuff. But I was pretty busy yesterday and I came back home pretty late. So yeah, I didn't do much yesterday. And today, I kept on looking at a bit of VFX stuff, but then I got hands on stuff, and I wanted to improve the block out and maybe do a rough sketch of floating islands and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll start by modeling. Actually, I was filming a bit, so we have a time lapse. Um, I thought, yeah, maybe I'll sculpt some floating island stuff, put it to Unreal, but then I just kept on going, and I thought, I guess it will be easier to visualize stuff in Blender, even though I'm not going to actually render in Blender in the end, and I didn't even bring the character at this stage, just to get a feel, because it's much easier for me to do this sort of stuff in Blender. And then I also added some mountains, and then I thought maybe this pillar should be cooler, and anyway, I was just like having fun. And yeah, what did I do after that? Some more mountains, and then I thought, oh, maybe it could be just mountains. And then I added like a foreground tree, and then I was like, okay, let's export the guy. I didn't manage to do it properly, so it's just like the without the cloth, but that's fine. And I was looking at the animation a lot, and okay, here, yeah, there's. Oh no, it didn't show the part that I think, at least, that I also tried out a variation with just a huge mountain behind, because I was looking at some images, and I saw this image with just a huge mountain behind in the Himalayas. It will be maybe something like this. I also did a version like that. And also I figured that perhaps my monk guy isn't going to be like this, because if I'm sticking with like my story narrative of this guy just being like a hatha yogi practicing control of the energies and stuff, they usually look like this, just in like a loincloth. And I think I got some, yeah. So I mean, this will make it easier for me, I guess, if I don't have to do a whole outfit, but it will be cooler. I think it will be something in the middle. Maybe it will be like just pants, or. And also, I was thinking about it. If I really want to stick to the story, he's probably just going to be seated and not be doing these types of moves. I mean, maybe you will do some breathing exercise moves, or but it's very subtle, you know. So I feel like for this challenge, it's not very suiting. Like, I thought maybe he could be seated, and then the animation, like the more animation part, would be like VFX stuff going in the background, like yantras, which are like, you know, sacred symbols going around. And actually, I want the VFX. I want there to be quite a lot of effects, like energy stuff going around, on him, within him, around him, everywhere. And obviously not to make it too chaotic with everything. But yeah, we'll see. It appears that I'm still like not exactly hyper focused and sure, and I'm still like not seeing the final vision, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to. I think I'm just supposed to explore more like I did today and play around and test different stuff. Um, Also and maybe have like something like this around him with like Sanskrit mantras, or like this or like this, but not as dark. And also I thought that, at the end, in the slow motion part, I'm not sure if I want like everything to dissolve like this, or yeah, I'm not sure still what's going to happen. And then I actually also pulled up some pictures from, I was in India now. I came back a month ago. I was there for 3 months, pretty much in one place, up in the Himalayas on the mountains. And this was my view every day. So I thought maybe I could do it there, like the scene, something similar, you see, like with the dogs. I remember like walking there, and it's just so beautiful, and you're up there in the mountains, and yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if it will be floating islands or just mountains, and show you the results. Also, yeah, never mind. So this is like floating island stuff, and then this is the mountains, and then this is like the big mountain. And now we can see them all one next to each other, like one next to another. So yeah, I think first of all, also about the animations, the animation itself, I'm going to have to change it, because I want the slow motion part when the card gets there. Actually, the card is not here in the render because with Eevee it's just like fully opaque. So I guess I could pull up the Unreal one. Okay, so in the Unreal one, when the card comes, like, we want it to be slow motion, right? I mean, I saw some people that it's also not slow motion. There's the cool one with the flower guy, where it's not slow motion, but I think it can add. The thing is, it just feels like so limiting. You have like 2.5 or like 2 seconds, right, before it like snaps in. So I guess 2.5 seconds before the slow motion, and here it's like so far away. And I want to convey like the story of whatever, like this energy work. And then basically here you finish with the animation. So it's like the effects, the intense effects, and like him integrating it should happen like here already. And then, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll get a better feel for it when I get to actually adding the effects and doing some more taking it out of like this bare bone block out stage. But yeah, I think it cannot like have this upwards motion, and actually you can't even see it here. But he like goes up, and then he like takes the energy down and like integrates it within himself. So I think it's to be something like this, and then straight to him, and then maybe at the end up or to the front, or it can also be straight up. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do in the upcoming days is maybe create a nice version, like with the mocap, for now, of all like maybe 3-4 different variations, and implement it being slow for when the card pops in, and that way I can get a feel for what's working. Maybe I can also try and implement some VFX, because I'm actually quite eager to start learning it and experimenting with it. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure about the order I should be doing it, because I guess also the effects, since I want them to be quite important or quite yeah, to take a big part of this of the vibe, I guess they can also kind of come in the block out concept stage before I start like polishing and doing more environment stuff. Like I'm not too worried about the environment stuff. I feel like it's not going to be too complex, you know, because I feel like even with just like mountains, you know, or having a few islands, like this would be even easier just to put some mountains or even just one mountain. And obviously you can add like secondary detail and tertiary, but you can also always add more. But I feel like that's not the focus here, right? So yeah, this is my update, I guess. So I even wrote some. So I guess what I need to do now is to do the new animations and make sure they're slow-mo when the card pops up. I need to decide whether I'm going for, yeah, I thought also if the movements being a bit more soft, because this feels like, you know, he's charging up for a blast. I thought maybe he's like, I don't know if anyone of you like saw the Bleach anime. I think I remember, you know how the Quincy guy, Ishida, how he like absorbs the Reiatsu, the spiritual like pressure from buildings in Soul Society. So like energy like that coming to this yogi guy. And I need to also decide, I guess, what ability he's going to be. It could be like a support one or pacify or guard. Those are the three I'm thinking. Yeah, and then I think I just need to experiment with all the effects and the animations to see what feels good. And also, I was thinking maybe it can be nice. Like I like actually the vastness of it, like being and out in the open. But it could also be nice if it's like more intimate in a like interior space inside a temple or like just right outside of a temple and all you see behind is a temple. But yeah, I think I'll leave it as the outdoors vibe for now. And then if I have time, I can experiment with that because I think it would take a bit more time. So yeah, I went. Wow, it's already 13 minutes, so I think it's enough for today. So yeah, and also my lesson from the past 2 days or so is less thinking, like less just thinking about it and exploring. I need to get hands on more, like straight up, just like go get my hands dirty and ideas come and evolve, like just playing around in Blender or Unreal. And yeah, I think I'll do some VFX tutorials and try to implement them right there in the scene in Unreal. Maybe I'll import I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess I can import these basic blockouts from Blender, but at some point I'll have to make a more detailed version for Unreal, and we'll see what time allows. Whether I need to like buy a pack and just do some level dressing or layout, or I'll have some time to do some stuff on my own as well. And I guess that the fact that he's not going to have too much of a complex like clothing also saves me some time. So we'll see. I think I'll start with it being simple, and if I see I have more time, I'm going to push hard and try to add as much stuff as I can. Yeah, that's the plan. So, also, by the way, if you have any ideas or feedback, you're more than welcome to write a comment. And if you have questions, yeah. So, see you tomorrow.